against the Kog'Maw Brown. Need to make sure that they can get some DPS out and get uptime on these carries.
If I was a Renekton, I'd be really miserable looking at what I was playing into.
Brown,
Braum, LeBlanc.
Start up the Dragon once again. Yike, though, in the pit. You can take has the smite. Can just try and steal this away, and Yike gets it. Shadowing strike into smite is enough for G2 to secure the first objective of the series.
So Yike steals that one away.
Defense of this tower. Crowny and LeBlanc will back away. TP invested by G2 as he's going to charge behind the tower. Flash Magnet Storm. Crowny trying to get away, but there's no time on his flash. Still 7 seconds away from safety as G2 open up the scoring in this game.
This should be their second Dragon on paper, but it's only going to be the first. G2 kind of fake contesting a bit to slow them down. I don't think there's much they can do in this situation. Adam's going to base here, and I think this next
opposition, the fact that they've been able to get a Drake should slow G2 down a little bit. Mickey looking for a fight.
It's going to be a collapse. Mickey's overstepping because the rest of G2 are on their way to collapse to this. You can see Yike coming in. Nuke dives forward with the Killer Instinct, and now Yike is in a perfect position for the engage. Cat's coming in from the side as well, and Crowny is immediately locked up, stunned up, and shut out of the fight. He's got 200 HP left, but not for long as G2 collapse.
BDS tried to make a play, forcing me.
They thought the Handsummer and Mickey were overextending. They thought that maybe they could get a punish. There was a window to get it. But then the collapse from Yike and Caps was absolutely devastating, as BDS couldn't disengage in time. And you just look at the bottom of your screen. I don't know if... Oh, he can.
Broken Blade. Dominus, the bear trap on the Broken Blade. Can drop the aggro, jumps up Skull, and it's a solo in the top lane.
That was so clean by Broken Blade.
Watching through this early game, BDS, most of their map has been dark, and G2 have done a really good job of denying vision where they can. It was the control ward earlier that allowed. Have had time to try and work out exactly how they wanted to take on this match, but it's a very tough opponent that they find themselves facing today.
I mean, it's to 1.
Yeah.
And now Nuke is in danger.
He's in a lot of danger as Broken Blade starts to collapse. The Killer Instinct out, but Yike once again. Oh, Magnet Storm just a little bit short, but the charge coming in from the Kled should mean that Nuke can't get away from this. Broken Blade going for Sheo first as they lock him up underneath the tower. Next up, concussive blows for the CC, and Nuke will fall to the bear trap. 5 kills now for Kled.
In order to drag this
I'm just going to say, I watched the LCK finals earlier today. Spoilers, Genji 1-3-0. That finished 5 hours ago, and I think that was less over than this game already is, okay? You can put all the hope you want into BDS, but G2 just tower dive for an absolute year, and they're the ones getting out alive. And it is Adam getting locked up. He pops the Dominus, just about able to escape with the wild growth. LeBlanc forced up towards the top.
Hold up, Bennett. Hold up.
Maybe Crowny has an opportunity here as Broken Blade's forced low, but the unbreakable wall comes in now. And G2 are exactly that. Caps will get shut down. And BDS, it was a quick cast to curse.
That was a huge one.
I'm an ambassador for Team BDS.
No, I know.
You just gave Kaiser 2 shutdowns. Yes, I knew it all along. You just never lose faith. You just gave Kaiser 2.
What use though? What? How many ultimates we saw? Rella? Oh, Adam.
Broken Blade, not quite dismounted yet.
Yeah, they got Zeri summoners. I think that's what G2 wanted. They get this mid tower too, but BDS are actually they got some damage. You know, if G2 overextend and don't get that kill.
Hex flash, Hex flash, Hex flash from Yike into the shadowing strike, and that's enough to take out the Lulu. Adam forced under the tower as Crowny kills Caps. The lightning crash, a little bit more damage than...
they're actually sending him top, which means that G2 are going to get a free tower in the top lane. BDS now want to try and trade this for the tier 1 in mid. I don't think Hans and Mickey will have the wave clear.
Going, Adams and behind Summer trying to get onto that backline, stunned up with concussive blows though, and the Magnet Storm will lock him up for days. Adam doing everything he can, but he can't do enough as the charge comes in from Broken Blade. He jumps onto Crowny, no summoners left on the Zeri right now. The living artillery almost finds his mark, but can't quite find his man. Nuke forced away as well. Flash forward from Hans Summer, but the concussive blow is stun, and that's 2 for G2.
Looks like they're going to move towards Baron as well. Shio's alive, and he has this.
Got this into a Baron. This is how you win the game. But the second Adam went in, the ultimate came out. They're not going to give it to Caps.
Let's talk about tempo, okay? That's, you know, ultimate min-maxing of tempo right there. Check the clock. Caps now pushing in the side lane as the 4th dragon of the game. We'll go over to G2, only their second as Sheo looks for an engage. Root Caller lands, but Mickey relatively tanky, even with Crowny putting some bullets into his back. We'll be able to walk away for the moment.
Later game, this LeBlanc becomes a big poke champion.
Lulu in the bush.
Oh, it's so sneaky.
Waiting for him to W forwards and polymorph him.
Sick man in defense, even has the number 06 on her back. She will...
Is that intended?
I have no idea, but it was cool in the moment, and I said it, you know?
Cool spot.
Daisy goes into the bush, trying to be stealthy. Fails her sleight of hand check as they're locked up here. So much damage already coming out from G2. Adam's still healthy enough though, as Broken Blade takes the tower. Crownie dashes across the wall. The cleanse has been used as Caps goes in once again. Yike tanks another tower shot, and G2.
This bot lane, touted as the best bot lane in the league. Of course, Broken Blade, the biggest story of this game one.
50 CS off whatever their total is, because they would have missed those. Let's be honest, they're not Chovy. Caps has always been good at CSing. An ultimate can be very powerful in fights like this. BDS, no vision in the pit, no control wards for them either. They're putting the bushes in to try and garner a little bit of sight, but soon those will fall down. And with the charge coming in, Yike going in, the Magnus Storm as well. And Summer starts to open up across the wall, and already the brother's down. There's two, there's three. G2 don't even need their mid laner to help them clean up the fights. Crownie flashes away, Broken Blade dismounted in the middle of his charge. Crownie with a lightning crash might try and turn this one back around. Broken Blade, a third of that bar built up to remounting, but the Baron aggroed still, and Hans Summer takes it out. The problem on the wrong side of the rift right now, though. He needs to rejoin with his squad. The Baron buff pushes in. G2 don't have a wave in the top lane, but Caps has one in the mid. And he's looking to make it 2 inhibitors to his name in this game.
Oh, LeBron's flanking.
Polymorph. Shirelius Polymorph, he can't get in range. Not quite close enough, and G2 will use that opportunity to open up the top side of the map. BDS really only with their Nexus towers left to defend. LeBron has to flash the bear trap. Glacial Fissure was coming out as well. All 3 inhibitors down now. And it took him a little bit longer than I think we expected, but G2 should be able to close this one out from here.
A one-sided affair, it largely feels, from G2 outside of a couple of plays where they got a little too over-aggressive. They're looking to end game one right here, right now.
Adam flashes in, stunned up immediately, but there's just no damage from the rest of the team. Hans Summer spitting fire and taking out all of BDS. Broken Blade 8-0-5, he went legendary on this Claire. Does G2 go legendary in game one?
Like, this would look like a very standard 13-13 draft, right? But now we've got this Evelyn. I'm curious as to what is so different about it and what it brings to a draft. Because you think of something...
That's literally all he wants to do, secure this grub.
Yike here, might be caught out a little bit. Coming in as well, Nuke jumping forward, Yike exhausted, they're trying to take down the Evelyn. Explosive charge reset, there's the stun with concussive blows and first blood to BDS. Mickey jumping away with the Riptide and a flash.
Oh, Yike's gonna die again.
Adam spots him, no flash for Yike here either. The Noxine Guillotine coming down, and that will be enough from Adam. Get his first kill of the game.
This evidence. Oh, this is rough. He's not even got his second camp respawn on bot side yet, so he's far away from that level 6. And they've just kind of nullified a lot of the pressure that the Evelyn will start to put out and put on hold.
Really great play there.
Hooking in Shadows here. Trigger Seed down already. Crownie's using the cleanse early. As Concussive Blows goes down onto Mickey. Hans Summer tag with Winter's Bite. But it will be 3-0 in favor of BDS.
Blade 2. A little bit greedy. Hans Summer having Halo Blades, but Hans Summer is
Hans Summer going in, the Unbreakable immediately from LeBron, and Hans Summer will fall. Crownie will fall in response.
Ambitious play there from Hans Summer. It should be an uncontested tower. Broken Blade is making his way down. Yike on his way as well. Hans Summer.
Glacial Fissure goes down, tags him, and Hans Summer, even with the killer instinct, is gonna fall. Mickey now coming in from the side, and Crownie can dance across that wall.
Or in the Renekton rather, last game, the Darius now isn't left in isolation. BB has no ult. Shio can land this.
Caller comes out, Adam there for the chase, uses the Decimate hook on Nuke in the mid lane. As he's locked up, he can flash and jump away. Broken Blade will fall to the blade of Adam, and BDS starting.
Thanks to Adam.
Oh, they hooked him out the way,
so they can snipe him!
That is genius for Mickey and Cap in the game right now. I do believe Riptide charging in. Crownie 1,000 gold ahead of anyone else. And Summer very far behind right now, but wow, we'll be able to farm up.
Gets procced on the passive, he's dead instantly. The Evelyn has a blasting wand, so there's no damage whatsoever in terms of threatening one-shots. It's just Caps really that's stronger than Nuke. So Mickey's just hovering around mid to make sure he can get the push. And BB's trying to
flash hook. Nuke. He cancels it. He pulled out of the jump there. He tried to get away, but Nuke falls so low. The Trigger Seed, and Yike almost gets the kill. Will in the end secure it. Can jump away as well with the last caress. Another hook, but that's onto a minion. Can't quite catch out Sheo. Meanwhile, Adams worked his way down from the top lane. Yike healing up. Puts the charm down, looking to allure. Adam charms him back. Yike low though. Noxine Guillotine. No time to use it. The last caress is the last breath of life for Adam.
Evelyn finally getting some kills. That's so important. 12-13.
Yike caught with the Winter's Bite. Control ward down as well as Sheo looks to join the fight from the side. Mickey locked up for a long time. Daisy with the knockup as well, and G2 can't defend him. Hansama now has to flash away. This BDS doing the catching. Another knockup as Daisy's come to play. A double for Crownie in the fight.
And Crownie just eliminates. Ivan combination just gives you so much more skirmishing power than what we saw from BDS in game 1.
Yeah, you really round his cap. Hansama left a little bit to his own devices in the mid lane, and because BDS have control of the top side, Root Caller goes down onto Yike. He was spotted. Adam looking for the damage, can't quite apprehend him back across.
Behind Luke, he then ulted him and jumped. Doesn't even have to use the flash. That's a horror for G2. That should have been a guaranteed kill now.
The difference between this and game 1 that is very stark. G2 overloading the top side, thinking perhaps maybe Adam would come across to defend, save that tier 1, but BDS giving it up, allowing G2 to claim a little bit of gold back, but in response they will get the Dragon. They will be on Soul Point with a Mountain Soul, and they're pushing in both mid and Caps tanks a lot of damage from the Extendo Beam. Yike still here, yet to be seen. With the Riptail charging in, Mickey has to flash away.
Something back. Mickey and Hansama are making their way up there, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop this siege.
TP behind, Caps is looking for this. They want the fight.
Yeah. Here they go. Nuke has a TP, the TP on the way, but BB's position's good.
Crownie stunned up with the Spencer coming in already. Hansama gets Crownie down to half HP. The redemption out, killer instinct in from Hansama. Caps now isolated from the rest of G2. He tries to kill off Crownie, but he just doesn't have the damage. Broken Blade locked up as well. And BDS turn the tables on the fight as they find 2.
The utilities just...
Yike, met by Adam. And BDS will be able to secure the Baron. They're making sure they see where Yike is before they burn it down. BDS. The control ward in the bush by the river might be enough, but Yike's going through the tower range. Caps locked up with the Root Caller, no flash on it. Oh, it does have the flash as he tries to get away, but he's already shut out. Yike going for Crownie, but he can't get close enough, and now BDS starting to hop, skip, and jump their way through this fight. Daisy stepping forward towards Broken Blade. Nuke's already killed off Yike, and that's 2 as Caps fell earlier in the fray. Broken Blade will follow, and Mickey tries to walk away, but Adam's on the chase. Gets a bit of damage down, looking for a little bit more. Ghosting forward, the apprehend, the hammer comes down. An axe, in fact, for BDS as they guillotine their way through G2.
BDS leave no window open whatsoever. A cleanly won fight, 4 members dead, and they're looking to end the game right here, right now.
Massive lead for them right now as they look to even out our series. Inhibitor tower in the mid lane, the first focus. Nuke will start to open up on the bottom one as well. First inhibitor tower does fall, so does the second, and G2 really can't defend against this. You can see Broken Blade just looking for some semblance of a little bit of gold somewhere on the map, but that tower's still very tanky, and BDS still pushing it forward. Flashes forward, tries to kill off Nuke, but can't take him out. And that's indicative of everything that's gone wrong for G2 in this game. They just do not have the damage to work through the utility from BDS. The Nexus tower is now the target for BDS. And although G2 was so dominant in game 1, BDS are having none of it in game 2. Hansama with a killer instinct, but that killer instinct will do naught for him, but lead him to his death. The BDS even us out 1-on-1.
I like the fact that they've picked this melee support on last, but I think the key thing for me is that in terms of game dynamics, this is not going to be a bot-centric game. Bot is going to be very, very simple.
The wave is big. Sheo is going to come across.
Adam's only level 2.
Sheo has the trigger seed. Yike flashes, Shadowing Strike. Sheo trying to flash away, gets chased down with Bear Trap on a rope, and Sheo will fall first. First blood to G2.
That was clean. That was really clean. I was expecting engage onto the Renekton, but they might dive him as well. Level 3 now. Might be a 1-for-1 though.
Builds up the Fury, gets knocked back. Adam locked up, looks for the Ruthless Predator stun, and it is a 1-for-1. As you say, K-Draw, but a plate falls and a wave falls in favor of G2.
Yeah, really good there. I think it's always
very much winning those trades. Caps looking for the Tangle Thorns, will get it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Adam's going to have to try and survive this. Cold Meat pulled back with Bear Trap on a rope. Broken Blade dismounts, and there's the kill. And Broken Blade will survive with the triumph.
Another solo kill. We saw it in game.
An easy Drake for G2 on the spot side of the map, which also has the pushing bot lane. And look at the mid lane CS, right? Caps up almost 20. Just keeps it.
This should be a nice window for BDS to look for a base. They want to try and make sure this wave gets underneath the tower.
Yike's here. So deep. True Shot Barrage has to be flashed away from, but now Yike with Flash and Shadowing Strike will get the stun. Mickey looking for a little bit more. Crownie down to 200 HP. Yike unable to get in range, and Lebrov doing a good job of body blocking here, but Caps is on his way. I don't think Lebrov and Crownie are going to survive for too much longer. Caps misses everything. He missed everything under the sun. But still, Crownie.
The next Q though, here it comes.
He hits that one. That's enough to get the kill.
Nice sidestepping from Crownie, right? Nice sidestepping. Sheo looking to try and punish Caps here. Should be able to get away to safety though. Nuke on the rotation down.
Good dash onto Caps. Might have to flash his flash though. He needs to be careful here, Caps, to react to the pushback.
That's the route. Flash push. Doesn't manage to flash over it. And it should be BDS getting their second kill of the game. Give it over to Nuke. The Emperor deserves his prize. Nuke gets a shot down, yeah.
A lot of extra gold there for Nuke, a bit of an over.
Yeah, that's real.
It's 4 stomachs. Chewing the cud on Summer. Can dash across the wall here. Lebrov still looking for him. Mickey with the charm. Lebrov waiting for it to expire. And Mickey flashes. And in the end, all that for naught on Summer, though. No arcane shift locked up. Lebrov knocks him against the wall, and Nuke should be able to pick up his second kill of the game.
Well, they make it work. I was a bit skeptical about interrupting Mickey's back.
I'd understand the crown against Nico Kled as well.
This doesn't give you as much upright damage. Nuke here shuffles Mickey back. He can battle dance away from this one. Yike trading in as well. A 3v3 erupts in the mid lane as the Pop Blossom finds 2. And immediately Sheo's just locked up. Caps not underneath the tower, just out of range, and that is enough to keep him alive as Lebrov tried to isolate him.
I mean, Mickey starts to play off. Yike looking for more. I don't really think they can convert this into much. Yike wasn't underneath the tower. While it was a good combo from Lebrov, no additional damage will come through. But Mickey forcing that engage meant that Nuke used his ultimate very early. Oh my god.
Shadowing Strike, and Nuke doesn't get an opportunity to move.
Wow. So a bit of an overstep there from Nuke, and small individual mistakes. Now Crownie in trouble.
Everywhere across the map, G2 begin to pounce, begin to strike. The Feather Storm buys him a second, but he needs to buy a lot more than that, and you can't buy an extra life in this game. Lebrov going forward once again. Caps low, down to 200, but Lebrov will be the first to fall in the fight. The Rift Herald charged into the mid lane as well. Sheo trying to trade. Oh, Sheo! The knockback, Sheo so low. The quickness comes back, and Sheo, even with a stopwatch, won't be able to get himself out of dodge. Nuke finally slides back in and gets another.
Felt like BDS kept trying to get something back, and G2 was getting the better of them. 10 kills to 4 now.
Crownie.
Has Flash, has Cleanse.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get away with it.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter. The cantankerous Cavalier.
Can he get out though, is the question.
BB, no TP. Starts the recall. 4 seconds left.
Lebrov needs to ward it.
There's the ward, there's the knockup. And there is a BB falling. Give it over to Nuke again.
Yeah, another shutdown over. So I think BDS don't mind that at all. Crownie, obviously, it's the most frustrating thing, running back to lane and getting ganked from like the side brush and just dying. But again, still, another shutdown to Nuke, still down 1,000 gold. Caps 6 kills right now on this Nico. G2 loves scrappy games. They love it if you get sucked into their chaos. And BB loves getting out of his own lane and just roaming around the map, and that's exactly what he's doing. Similar to game 1.
Strong Nico players. Obviously, our minds get drawn to Faker over in the LCK. Caps having a strong performance of his own so far in the early game. It's going to be super important, though, if he can find those flanks. One of the things that I think makes Faker...
BDS is, you're 5,000 gold in the hole. So trying to survive through a fight sometimes can just be priority number 1 as Crownie.
Before, but numbers disadvantage with this much dive. They need to be careful not to just throw the entire game away here.
And in an ideal world, BDS would love to cross map, but there's no reason for them to back off right now. Hansama making his way into the jungle, should be able to get level 11 right here. Oh, nice knockup.
It was really nice from Mickey. Knocks up Lebrov as he goes in with the blast cone. Hansama has to dash away. Arcane Shift and Cleanse invested by him.
But the objective is gone. The top tier 2 is down. G2 have topside vision. BDS don't want to face check them, and now Broken Blade's pushing bot, so they're on a timer here. Our BDS to catch that bot wave, so Nuke's gonna go back this bot tier 2.
I mean, they could, but I don't think they need to risk it with the dragon spawning. Never mind, they're dying.
Charge. Crownie has to pop the Feather Storm, and Yike just follows it up. Crownie realizes the flash invested immediately.
It's all fake pressure. G2 knew Zaya would ult, they knew they wouldn't get an engage. Mickey doesn't even burn the quickness, right? They know that they just have to stop him from accessing the wave. And Caps gets botted.
Charge already halfway off its cooldown. As you said, they've still got the quickness, they've still got the Magnet Storm, they've still got Yike's flash. BDS really strong.
Non-existent, and the jungle support duo of BDS kind of forced to concede as Mickey and Yike look for
Charge
rogues.
going in. Caps is a small Krug right now, and he's going to see if he can work his way into this fight. Broken Blade goes behind the tower. Caps, he's just so many. There's LeBron able to get away from the engage. Broken Blade down to half HP. Daisy doing a little bit of work, but not enough really for BDS to find a re-engage.
So if you look at that sequence, that was actually a nice try by G2. What they did was they used the Nico TP. Hang on a second, Caps.
Awesome onto LeBron.
Oh my god.
And Adam and Pop by name, Pop by nature for G2. They find 2 more, and now Baron very much on the card.
Very strong. Rabadon's complete for Caps, 10 stacks Magi's. How does BDS hold? They have their wave clears all right. They can put the brushes down, but if G2 can push them off the tower, the brushes become theirs.
Caps still has the flash and the Pop Blossom. He's going in with there's a mini Krug again. The Shirelli isn't being used. There's the Magnusor. Caps with the 4-man Pop Blossom, and BDS are just removed from the game. They can do exactly that, Cajal. BDS can't defend. Adam tries to catch midway, but it's not going to be enough.
That was disgusting. All 4 members just thrown up and then slammed back down into the ground. It was a one-shot. G2 in 23 minutes will take game 3.
Caps, 10-1 on Nico. Yep. That's perfect. I'm sure that Caps is safe and happy.
I also just think that the Poppy ult is so good against these compositions where you kind of have a very obvious front line and then a clear back line.
With Mark for like 3 years,
fair, that's
okay?
true.
What do you mean 3 years? You still do it.
Mickey looking for the second route. Shea on his way across. Crowny going in. Hand Summer tries to flash away, but the Twisted Ones, it will follow him. Crowny gets the first kill. Mickey will be short to follow. A double for BDS in the bottom lane. It's more of a emerald
kill. And that's a level 2 Zeri with a double kill. So, gonna spell a lot of danger later on.
Adam, counter strike in, looking for the stun of Caps. He has to flash away. Yike coming in, as well as Mickey flashes forward for the root. Nuke has the flash to get across the wall here. Yike, in a little bit of a tricky situation, can just walk his way through. Adam going back in, Broken Blade on his way to collapse.
Poppy's
the
coming.
counter strike to say Poppy on her way across, and Adam knocked into the wall way too deep from the BDS top lane. It was Nuke dashes forward onto Caps, should be able to kill him off with the explosive shot. Gets a reset as well, but won't go for more. 1-for-1 in the trade.
Kills going to the correct members here for BDS. 2 on
There's a way to reset and get himself that Hex-like alternator. This should be an easy enough secure for BDS. Lavrov is trying to keep Yike around. Mickey going forward. They get onto Sheo and they burst him out of it. Already Sheo down, the smite away from Yike as well. The Pop Blossom coming in. Nuke dashing forward, gets one in response, tries to jump across the wall, flashes away from the Tangle Barbs. A 1-for-1 exchange, but the Dragon going over to G2.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst outcome for BDS. They would have preferred to secure the Dragon, but the fact that Nuke gets it.
Like, instead of saying little bro, you could say little crook.
Yeah. You could say that as Nuke goes forward with the damage on the Caps. There's a Pop Blossom, busts a shot away. LeBron coming in as well with the quickness as Caps. Tries to escape, but it's an absolute massacre in the mid lane. BDS collapse, another double for Crowny on top of that.
And they can often be pretty quick as well. We've had surprisingly fast games in this series. Broken Blade getting some good trades onto Adam. He needs to be very careful here.
Adam has the mana here. No ward for him to jump to, but with the minion wave coming in,
But they're not forced to. I just feel like G2 might have to fight them no matter what, because Tristana Zeri already, with such a great start, scales so well.
Not trying to dash away from this. Knocks back Yike with the blast cone, but let's use the grand entrance to escape. Nature's Grasp here. Mickey still has the flash to try and jump across this wall, but already takes a lot of hurt as Nuke can look for more. Buster shots him back. And Nuke now on a rampage. 4-0-0 on the Trist.
I mean, the 2 carries are just ultra fed right now for BDS. Accelerated beautifully. And they're in a fantastic position to carry this game. Exactly what we saw from them in game 2. Caps needs to be a little bit careful here. Labrov still has the flash and the quickness.
I'm just surprised the amount of a fight BDS is putting up against G2, and we saw them in the finals how dominant they were versus XL. Them just being a cut above the rest of the teams, we thought, and BDS was struggling in summer to replicate their results in spring. After this short break, now you're in a situation where it goes to 5. As Caps tries to pretend to be a minion, tried to chunk out Nuke, but this is an insane game state for BDS.
It really is. Hansama going in, the lightning crash immediately used. LeBron gets the charm through the killer instinct, the flash away from Hansama. Oh, what a hook! Gets him to safety with a superb hook. Mickey takes the shutdown, not what you want if you're a G2 fan, but BDS 2000 goal ahead as the Rift Herd start. Fight begins. Adam TPing up towards the top lane. Has just finished those Ionian boots of Lucidity. Kind of the winner of the series is guaranteed one of our top 3 world spots. G2, they've been there many times before, but for BDS, an organization that only joined the LEC 2 years ago, what an improvement it would be. Is the counter-strike coming out onto Mickey from Adam. He flashes away. Sheo with the Nature's Grasp, but Adam's already fallen. LeBron now trying to get away from it as Sheo turns his attention over to the Rift Tower. LeBron will be able to escape. Crownie picks up the Rift Tower with Eye. And G2 do get a kill, but they lose the objective off the back of it.
They're looking for a top tier 1 or trying to look through a dive onto Nuke, but there's no wave. Hans doesn't have ultimate yet. They're really chasing this. They can maybe get his flash. See if Caps can get in range with the flash.
Nuke tries to bust a shot back. Pop Blossom flash immediately. Nuke tries to flash away but can't escape it. As the Pop Blossom lands, Rift Out used in the mid lane. That will get one charge off and take down the tier 1. LeBron now looking for the flank as Yike and Caps a little bit behind enemy lines. The Rift Outs are charging in. Caps going low. The quickness comes out and he'll fall. LeBron now looking for Yike as Crownie continues to push in mid. He's taking the tier 2. And in the end, an exchange of
flash. Yeah, he even flashes down, he's getting hit. So I can kind of see what he's doing there.
That's fair, yeah. I get the idea.
Still very difficult to get out of a Pop Blossom when the
Poppy ult
person is flashed on top of you. Keeper's verdict. Is it guilty? Not quite. It's Sheo able to secure the dragon now for BDS. The Nature's Grasp has been used as BDS look for a little bit more, but now Caps, he's coming in as a minion and the Pop Blossom gets to Adam and Sheo locked up. Sheo already down. The Bob in the middle of the pit. He's going to fall as well. 2 kills to G2.
They punish the dragon. BDS get there first and they secure it to the nice hold points from G2, but they manage to pick up kills off the back.
BDS see a window where they can win a fight here because it's 4 versus 5, but they're kind of stuck in the pit right now. Caps comes in with the ultimate. Obviously, BDS immediately tried to
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yike and Caps coming out of the bushes, and Adam pops the counter-strike. Pop Blossom will lock him up. Mickey there with a hook as well, and Adam not given a chance to move away at all, but BDS perhaps looking for a collapse. Can't quite find it. LeBron and Sheo just on that front line. Nuke here to join. Crownie there as well. The TP in from Broken Blade. G2 want to take this fight now. Crownie with the lightning crash didn't actually hit onto anyone, but the Ultra Shock laser does so much work, and Nuke jumps forward. Look for Yike, needs a bit more damage. The Buster Shot enough. BDS pick up 2. Summer dodging around the edge of the fight. Broken Blade now in the midst of them all. Knock. Keeper's verdict finds 1. Crownie left all to his lonesome as G2 find another.
Very well played by Broken Blade to knock away Nuke. He would have died otherwise to the AD carries, and as much as Nuke was low HP, he had to get in the head out of there, otherwise Summer would be able to step up. TP from Adam coming in. Summer.
Nuke jumps forward. Summer gets away in the nick of time. Not the same to be said for Caps and Broken Blade though. Sheo on the chase. In fact, they may just escape.
Main point for them, because the Maokai in the Rakana disruption front line. But the Jax, here comes a Poppy actually.
Straight on to Crownie, the hook coming out as well. The Crownie is just deleted. The Bob coming back with the quickness as Nuke jumps forward. TP
Caps
in
TP.
from Caps. As he looks to join the fray. Sheo low, the Pop Blossom finds Nuke, and that's exactly the target they wanted. The counter strike from Adam. All on his shoulders now, but Broken Blade and G2 perfectly tanking the tower. No one dies from G2.
beautiful play from Broken Blade with 0 hesitation. Caps looking for more, has the minion wave so he can keep pressuring, but that's going to be a Baron. Broken Blade just walks into mid, lands the stun onto Crownie, and then as the rest of BDS try to punish G2, it's just kill after kill, and not a single member drops. Just like that, G2 have blown this game wide open in their favor.
The power of the Poppy, and Crownie has no claim. Drop from G2 towards Nash, but G2 are here to contest. They don't have a smite though.
Caps in a flank position though. Nature's Grasp goes out. Caps in great position here to collapse. Knocked back into the wall. Sheo goes low, so does Broken Blade, or Sheo loses a bit of health at least. Has to flash the wall.
Mickey continuing to look for hooks. Yikes, setting up for a, I think a zoning sort of flank, not really threatening the dive.
Oh, LeBron also getting spells out as Mickey lands another hook. LeBron will fall once again. The keeper's verdict knocks back 2. Broken Blade looking for Crownie, can't quite find enough damage on him. Another hook once again from Caps. Finds Adam, and Caps will follow it up with a 2-man knock-up. Sheo and Nuke the last defenders here for BDS, but G2 just continue the pressure, continue to push forward.
G2 lose their front line, but it doesn't matter. The TP is going to come in for Broken Blade. The base will begin to fall. And 24 minutes in, close to 25, an inhibitor will drop as well.
Forward has the TP as well to join a fight if it does begin. Sheo could look for something here. The Nature's Grasp possible. Goes on to Broken Blade. There's the TP in by Caps, and Sheo is just demolished. I've seen less deforestation in the Amazon.
Baby Raptor.
Sheo there.
What about the baby raptor?
Baby raptor, baby raptor,
Kind of works.
That works a little bit. And you can have a big raptor, which is very important for the sequence as the depth charge comes out. Caps goes forward and lands a two-man once again. The Pop Blossom, a flourish on top of a great performance here by G2. Counter-strike though in by Adam as he finds one. Nuke now can open up as well, and it's only Yike and Broken Blade left to defend here. Adam and Nuke will clean it up, a triple for Nuke to round it out.
Start up the Baron if they want to. They have double AD carry and they'll rush it down quick, but they have 10 seconds to work with here, G2. They just need to be careful, because this will go down fast.
Adam down in the bottom lane was answering that pushing wave. TP ward for him, he'll TP in immediately. That Baron already down to 8,000 HP as G2 start to collapse. The hook once again onto Labrov. The keeper's verdict knocks back one, but the Baron secured by BDS. Now G2 can look for more. Caps rooted a long way away. The Nature's Grasp found him around the mid lane. Adam starting to reset, flash away by Shale from that hook. Broken Blade once again, that front line. Adam's going to be watched by Caps here. Counter-strike out by Adam. Shale on the top side of the fight as BDS begin to be split up just a little bit. Shale spotted. Caps still coming in, using the sweepers. He's a little wolf this time, but Nuke with a great buster shot will knock him back. Labrov still locked up and killed off by G2, but the rest of BDS should be able to escape.
So a lot of the engage is gone. There's the more for the Zeri. I think Nuke will have GA in base after that Baron. They'll have Baron up minions. G2 might be able to get a top inhib tower here. I'm not sure if they can overstay for the inhibitor itself. They're down quite a handful of ultimates, but they're going to commit to it anyway. They'll be able to pick this one up. No TP on Adam, but there's TP on Nuke. No real wards behind them.
As G2 started to fight back, and it looked very much like G2 would be able to close things out until that top lane play. Now Mickey a little bit further forward. The rest of his team has to flash away. They were trying to collapse on Adam. Long-range Voice Seeker does connect. Mickey isolated. BDS looking for the collapse. The Nature's Grasp. Shale's just chasing one person by himself. Adam now being locked up. He tries to jump away. Knocked back with the keeper's verdict. Broken Blade doing a lot of work, and Adam will fall first. G2 now collapsing on the rest of BDS. Labrov trying to get across the wall, but the Steadfast Presence will hold him in place, and the Pillar helping out as well. The quickness coming out as they manage to charm Yike. Nuke and Crowny trying to collapse from two sides of the fight, but the pincer movement isn't enough quite yet. Caps falling though. Pop Blossom Caps down before the pop can come through. Crowny now opening up. Hansama again. Hansama dodging away as well, but Crowny's doing so much work. Labrov and Crowny's still alive. Crowny trying to dash away from Broken Blade and Yike. He's at 300 HP, but is that enough to hold on to the game for BDS?
Gonna chase him down here on day. Crowny has just lost the Baron buff, so he doesn't have the Nash recall. He could look to execute. See if he goes into this top rush, but you will get spotted on the tier 2. No matter how you enter this, you have to flash into it. So G2 should see that. Ping's coming down. They know exactly where he is. Stun into the wall.
And he's killed off, but he buys enough time for the respawns to come back out. Adam
getting what vision they can.
They have double Rabadons as well. GA.
Rob hooked.
Whoa.
Adam, counter-strike, gets the double stun, but look at the damage onto Labrov. The death charge going to chase him down as well. Adam uses the Zhonya's, keeper's verdict, doesn't hit onto anyone, the minions block it. Broken Blade though still in the midst of BDS, is able to get two. Labrov with the charm onto the big raptor. They thought it was Caps, I guess. So he quickness the Razor Beak.
I think he ulted trying to look for an angle, but
Crowny's killed off by Hansama.
Yeah. Definitely ulted looking for an angle, but he couldn't find it, and he realized he wasted it. But yeah, Caps could be anything in this game. He's probably a really good hide-and-seek player on the Nico, because he's just turning into whatever it is to get into these fights. He wasn't even part of this one. Didn't get the ult off, didn't get the flash. Pop Blossom.
Still a baby Krog.
30 seconds on Crowny.
Is that just it? Look at the damage coming out from Hansama. These long-range Void Seekers doing so much work. Nuke, Labrov, and Shale, the last-ditch defense for BDS. Another hook from Mickey onto Labrov. There's a Pop Blossom onto all three, and you have to feel it's done. Nuke sniped the double for Hans. Sheo chomped, and another for Hans to boot. It's a triple to round it out as G2 take 3 wins and will make their way to Montpellier and make their way to Worlds.
Hold up, he got a Quadra, Wait, maybe he's gonna go for the
Hansama. No, Brownie's not giving it to him. They're all running forward. They can't get it.
Oh, they died.
No Penta for Hansama, but I'm sure he'll be proud of his prize of a position in Montpellier.